Hey, this is Auggie. Wait, what am I saying? Welcome to the Marcus Degen show. Sorry.
Go, keep it.
You know, we're fighters. What is it? CTE is not real?
CTE is not
Hey,
real.
in future, if they fuck up, just keep
We're
it.
just keeping it
Just
going.
keep
All
it.
right,
Because
all
it's
right.
funnier when they fuck it up.
All right, I got this.
Yeah.
Do it one more time, but if you do like it, then we can edit it out.
Okay.
Do it one more time.
I'm
Go
good.
ahead.
Hey guys, this is Auggie. Welcome to the Marcus Degen show.
The Marcus Degen Show. What's the story, guys? Welcome to another episode of the pod. This is your host, Marcus Degen, shooting from Sin City, Nevada. I always say to that beginning of every show because I fucking love it. Las Vegas is the place of bright lights, world title fights. Nothing happens anywhere else in the world like it does here in Las Vegas. Matter of fact, my studio is right next door to the Apex, the UFC Apex. So I can literally jump the wall, go and get punched in the head, and then come back over here. Speaking about getting punched in the head, we've got another couple of dudes on the pod today that they do it for a living. Imagine getting smacked in the face for a living. I mean, think about it. You walk along the driveway and you accidentally kick your leg on the brick wall, right? What do? You scream, you complain, you fucking put your leg up, you're telling your wife, fuck, my leg hurts. Not these guys. They got a different pain barrier. So we're going to talk about pain barriers today. We're going to talk about smoking weed before the podcast because, you know, I don't know. That's what I like to do. Do you like to do it? Thanks for listening on Spotify. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe on YouTube. Would you welcome to the podcast, Mixed Martial Artists, fighting out of the Shamrock FC. Augie Augustine, what's up, brother?
Hey man, how you doing? Thank you for having me on today.
Thanks for coming on the show. I appreciate it. Who's this guy you got next to you?
Oh, I got my boy.
I'm waiting on you.
Oh, I got my boy Shorty Torres, my roommate slash coach slash sponsor slash
Sugar daddy.
sugar
sometimes,
daddy.
so-
There's a whole
I mean, I
combination.
almost want to say like manager a little bit. Like what else we got? You got any other
There's
titles?
a lot of things.
There's a lot of things there.
Yeah,
let's see.
wingman.
Talking to that mic.
best
Talking to that
buddy.
mic. Introduce yourself, Shorty.
Man, the whole speech or
Yeah.
like the whole introduction?
Yeah,
Because
you
this
You know
has been
what?
going for a while.
Well, here the thing is I was just going to say you're well versed on your history because when you came in here and told me your accolades and things that you'd done, I was quite impressed. Young man here didn't fill me in on exactly who you were, so. Give us a bit of rundown for everyone listening that can just hear that voice of yours.
Man.
Who is this fucking
so
guy?
my name is Jose Shorty Torres. I am the first ever two-time IMF world champ. Won 25-1 as an amateur. Claimed the world championship before I went pro. Went to Titan FC, became their first ever two-division world champ. And then I also defended it 3 times. Then I went to the UFC, went 1-1. Sadly, got released during that flyweight demise. But now I am in Brave Combat Federation, and I am their current bantamweight champion, fighting again December 15th in their last event as the main event. So it's an honor to be on the show and just have a lot of fun.
You would never be able to get that on a business card.
No.
You seriously couldn't.
I actually tried.
Yeah.
I did a business
Got
card
one
when I
side
first-
and then flop the other
Dude,
side
I
around.
had all my amateur accolades and it was like, yeah, this is dumb.
Yeah. So you've obviously been doing this for a long time then.
Sadly, yeah.
Why sadly?
Well, see, my life's a little different. My father was a gang leader. I started the sport when I was 4 years old, and he wanted me to fight. Like, he forced me to fight. If anybody watches, like, Dragon Ball Z, everyone's like, oh, you're like Goku, personality. I was like, I'm more like Gohan. I don't want to fight. I'm just really, really good at it.
Wow.
So my father kind of pushed me into it, and then it became more of a necessity to protect my family and stuff like that. So my goal as a fighter was always to be like a hero or a role model. And coincidentally, the more I fought and won, the more people got motivated in my neighborhood, like, oh, I want to do whatever job I want to do, or, you know, I want to actually fight or pursue whatever goals. And it's like, oh, cool, I'm actually achieving this dream that I want to do and doing the same goal my father wanted me to start in the first place.
So just circling back to where your dad made you fight,
Mm-hmm.
elaborate on that a little bit more. What do you mean made you?
My dad was a gang leader, and he just was a goon as well coming up in the gang. So naturally, you needed to be tough. You needed to learn how to fight. You needed to put people in their place if that were the case. And then also with just protecting people and family, my family was very wild, just in case things popped off. Like we were talking about scenarios outside, you know, before the podcast.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I was like, oh, you've never thought of scenarios like this before? No, I planned this out like it was a military thing. Like, all right, we're going to enter this way, finish it this way, and do that and that.
And you know what? And now that I've started doing it, I can't fucking believe that I never did it before.
Yeah.
Because you've always got to plan for, I don't know, whatever, like for something to go wrong, right? If someone's doing something nefarious towards you, there's got to be a plan. It's better to have a plan than just to react. Would you agree with that?
Even just like if you're like out some like for me at least, I like to be like facing the door.
Yeah.
So like right now, if we go into a restaurant to go eat, like, him and I both like we just sit with our backs to the door. We'll sit on the same side and everything.
Yeah.
We just like face the door because we don't want people to come on in. Like we just want to see everyone walking in. But for
see,
me,
that's
Yeah.
how he would behave.
fighting style, I'm also a feeler. So I'm actually, like you were saying, I'm a random person. So when things pop off, I'm like, okay, I guess we're doing this. And I'm better on the spot than I am planning stuff out.
So, see, here's the thing that hey, you just said you're just like a random person, just a regular person. Now, to look at you, I mean, first and foremost, I would know what to look at because I would look at your ears straight away, and then I would be like, yeah, no, I'm not going to fuck with him.
Yeah.
But to look at you, because you're a little like I am, small in stature as well, not like this, 6'1". People would underestimate and not even consider you someone that could probably do more damage than most of the people in the room. Has that been a factor in your life because of being a little smaller? Have people always thought that you were less than what you were?
I'm the nice guy you don't want to piss off, pretty much. And usually my patience is very high naturally, and I'm the one to, communicate through every single situation, figure it out. Because fighting to me has always been the last resort. But if I had to handle a situation, like it's probably not the best for anyone a part of it, especially growing up. But yeah, especially my fights, I would actually I'd more likely fight guys like his height. I have
Yeah.
a Napoleon complex. I like beating up taller people. Watching trees falls are great. But for me, it's my last opponent is 6 feet tall, and I was tossing him around. I'm a judo black belt, so I was like, this is great. This is
Yeah.
awesome. This is really filling my ego. But a lot of tall people or just bigger people generally would always look down upon me. I was like, what's the phrase? Fuck around and find out. So that's me.
Yeah. What's your weight?
Right now, too heavy. But I walk around about 163, and I'm slowly getting down there. I weighed about 156 and a half earlier, so I'm really happy about that. I got 5 weeks until my fight, so plenty of time, but definitely much heavier than I should be. I'm like Nacho Libre. I'm just round no matter what.
So what weight category will you be fighting in December?
So I used to fight flyweight, but I bumped up to 135 or 61 kg.
And well, this is the question that I had for you before, because once I realized that you were a featherweight fighter, I'm quite shocked that because you're quite tall, you're 6'1". That seems a difficult weight to get down to. I mean, obviously you guys have the science, of cutting weight, but it's got to be a struggle when you're as big as you. What do you walk around at? Like easy 180 plus, right?
I'm about 180 right now, but
Yeah.
I also just fought last week, so I'm a little puffy right now. Last night I had a cheesecake sandwich from 303 in the cut.
Can we pull that mic?
He literally
Augie,
rubbed
pull
it
that
in my
mic a little
face.
closer. Just pull that mic a little closer. There you go. Can you hear that all right, Lana?
A little better.
Yeah, everyone. Okay. So yeah, great fight by the way.
Thank you.
Obviously went exactly how you thought it was going to go. Actually, it goes the way a lot of
didn't.
your fights go.
It didn't. It didn't go the way we thought it was going to go. at
Okay,
all.
so obviously you won by unanimous decision, right?
Yes.
You were expecting to put him away early.
I think we were expecting to put him away early, and I was expecting the potential for there to be a decision, but I thought that it was going to be like a stand-up, like I was just going to be piecing him up, like kind of walking him down, moving out of the way of shots, and just hitting him. But he was very rigid and kind of
Stiff.
off rhythm.
Yeah.
And it was just like it was a really weird feel because we're always going with such high-level guys, and I felt in the first exchange he put me against the cage and tried to take me down. And then I stuffed it and just turned him on the cage, and I felt a really easy takedown there. I took him down, and from there he was basically just talking shit and trying to throw up stuff from his guard. So,
During the fight, he was talking shit?
yeah,
Saying
whole time.
what?
The whole time he in the first round he told me I was hitting like a bitch. I had a Khabib trap, handcuff trap, and I'm hitting him in the face, and he's like, "You hit like a bitch," and then I elbowed him in the face really, really clean and cut him wide open, and he was still saying a bunch
was
of
impressive.
stuff.
It's really
it was
impressive.
actually really
you know what? I
impressive.
like that. I'm not sure. Actually, I had to write a couple of things down because I wanted to make sure that I didn't forget them. When you fought, this is the ones that I looked at today, which I really liked. When you fought Josh Weston, you finished him with the ground and pound. But then when you fought Thomas Thatcher, you had his arm pinned behind his back there. You had him up against the fence and were just fucking smashing away. I found out that you get really dominant when you get on top of these fuckers and start throwing those bombs. Is that? Do you find one of your strength is being able to get these guys down and then finish them on top of them because you fucking do it a lot?
I think that I just really have dangerous ground and pound because of my length, and I know how to use my length. And my
and I think
striking.
you're
I'm
very
more of a
strong.
striker.
I think you're really strong as well.
Yeah, and I'm physically imposing, and I like to use my athleticism, and I'm able to whenever I'm on top.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, a lot of nearly every single commentator that I've listened to that has called one of your fights has commented on how strong you are. So that's obviously. the 5'4" Josh Henry, that's the one I wanted to talk about. Got you with a liver shot in the end, unfortunately. But you kind of were you training with him for that?
No. So that was the thing. I had just gotten out to Extreme. I was only out here for maybe like 5.5 weeks, and I really didn't have a great camp. I was just kind of putting things together myself, and it was honestly, I just thought I was gonna smoke him. Like, I was like, I don't really need a camp. I'm just gonna be able to go to these practices, and I'm gonna fuck this dude up, and then I'll get signed to the UFC, and I'll have guys be able to help me. Someone like Dennis or Eric, like, help me put a camp together. And I was in the process of destroying. I am better than him for sure. I think skill for skill, but I just gassed out. And he showed up to fight. I showed up to win, and I was piecing him up the first round, and I had him pretty close to getting out of there. And he even, I think, would have basically let me submit him, but I just wanted to finish with strikes, and I ended up gassing out. Coming off the stool in the end of that first round, it was pretty tough to even just like get up back on my feet. And I had a lot of emotional stuff going on.
Does that affect your cardio, the emotional stuff?
100%.
It does,
100%.
yeah.
You need to be ice cold, just calm, cool, collected. That's what I kept saying in the back before the last fight. Was just calm, cool, collected. Calm, cool, collected.
Is that why when you're having a street fight, you kind of gas out in literally 20 seconds?
So there's more adrenaline. In a street fight, there's no rules.
Yeah.
You go on the ground, he's gonna kick you. He's gonna do whatever he wants to you. So it's like you're legit fighting for your life, depending on who you're going against.
And weapons.
We talked about that liver shot. So for the casuals that listen to this, and I know you're casuals because you fucking talk shit to me online. So no one that's a professional would talk shit to me.
It's like, so how do we talk smack?
Yeah. Come down to Sticky Paws and talk smack. No. We were talking about liver shots. Can you explain to the what do you call us, civilians?
I
that don't
hang out
fight?
with military all the time, so they call everyone civilians. So.
Explain to someone what first of all, what a liver shot does to you physically, and then what it feels like, and why most people can't continue after one punch in the liver. Can you explain?
It's kind of like like everyone's pretty much had the wind knocked out of them. It's like that, but it's also like it makes your whole body tense up. Like you can feel your organs kind of pulsating, and it just makes your like arms like glue to your body. Like you can even see in the fight whenever I like go down for the liver, I'm like still holding my body, just punch me in the head. Like usually you're gonna block someone just punching you in the side of the head.
Yeah.
You're not just gonna let someone just piece you on the side of the head. But it just it's debilitating. But for me, it was more that I was gassed out, and I think it was more like a mental thing because
you just thought, fuck, yeah.
I mean, and it put me down, and then I wasn't really mad at the stoppage that night.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to rematch with them, and that's actually kind of in the works right now.
Nice.
And we're hoping to get a 5-rounder with them for the Shamrock title.
That's right, because you've headlined a lot of fights with Shamrock FC.
Yeah, he's my only loss, and he's a veteran. He's fought several guys in the UFC that are currently in the UFC, used to be in the UFC. And he's a veteran himself, not a bad record. And it's just a fight that needs to happen. I want to redeem that loss, and I think getting my record to 8-3 and also redeeming a loss like that puts me right there in the mix to get signed, especially at 145.
Well, the thing is, mate, is that you've been in the FC for a minute now, and you've had fucking great success in that company. Is it 8 now? 7-1 or 8? All up, your record is 8-1 now.
No, my record is 7-3 now.
7-3.
I almost said 6-3.
And then how many more fights you got with this company?
I'm on a 1-fight deal, so fight to fight.
So somebody else calls him, he can technically go to
I
other
can
promotions.
take fights with
but
anyone. I'm a free agent.
Shamrock takes care of him really well, so he's like, yeah, might as well put it in front of my city, make money off of ticket sales, and then why not fight at home?
And I was actually quite surprised with the production of Shamrock FC.
Yeah, they do a good job.
Yeah,
it's a nice,
I was fucking
nice
surprised
hotel
with
and
it.
casino. They put us up, and they really do take care of us.
So obviously, UFC's the goal. You're training with a bunch of great 145ers, Julian Arosa. You're training with him at Extreme Couture. I've had him on the podcast. Great guy. Love that guy. Nicholas Motta was in here the other day. You're training with him. He's a great kid with a great future ahead of him. Absolutely. Do you believe that training with these high-level athletes gives you an extra edge over, say, Joe Blow, who's just training in fucking Boise, Idaho with the guys down at the local MMA?
100%. 100%. Yeah, there's no question about it, honestly. Just mentality-wise, you just know you've seen other people have so much success, so it makes you know that you're right there on that level, especially whenever you're doing well with people. But Yeah, and just physically preparing for the fights, like having all the different looks that you have at Extreme. We had one fight in the works. Shorty helped line up, and it was with the big kick heavy guy, really Taekwondo based style guy, and we have so many different looks that we were able to basically put together a very realistic look almost every single Tuesday and Thursday.
And that was the biggest thing. I think one of the big thing about training at Extreme or other big level, high level gyms when you're coming up is you're training with guys who are in the UFC, Bellator, Brave, all these different promotions, and you also get the mental side of it of like, man, how does it feel to fight at Staples Center? Or you're fighting at home with all these people. How, the mindset, or man, somebody's going through stuff behind the scenes. How are you pushing through this? Because I might be going through the same thing. So I think mentally it helps pretty great as well.
And I suppose if you get the better of one of these UFC guys, like if you get a great takedown or if you land a perfect combination on one of these high-level athletes, that's got to give you some kind of confidence to go, you know what, I'm fucking ready for this company.
Well, that, and also if guys are kicking your ass and you really want to be good, you're going to figure out a way to beat them.
We hope at least,
that's the goal. Like you're going to at least start to bridge that gap every single day, and you're making realistic gains towards your goals.
Physically, how are you holding up?
I feel great after the fight. Honestly, I mean, I'm a little bit banged up because it was 15 minutes.
Where?
And my back of my knee was like a little sore today whenever I was training. My feet were real banged up from kicking them and stuff like that. My elbows were really sore, like from hitting them with the elbows. So
it's like fucking kill.
It's weird how
when you hit the funny bone. Do you ever hit the funny bone when elbowing?
Not this time.
Come on,
that's beat up on the forearm.
That's a decent question.
That is a decent question
that's
because
funny as fuck.
No, I did it in the Josh Henry fight because I was elbowing him in the side and the back of the head, like these elbows, like 12 to 6 kind of on his and I hit like 6 of them hard, and my whole arm was just like dead ringing.
I was about to say, like after fights, you're like, yeah, I really beat that guy's ass. Oh my gosh! Like, I didn't really take a hit, but my elbow hurts, my knuckles hurt. I can't even squeeze my hand.
Yeah. So imagine how the people in Jorge Masvidal's promotion feel, the bare knuckle MMA. Yeah. Now, have you watched that? And is bare knuckle something that, like, Shorty, you seem like a bit of a tough cunt. Yeah. I reckon you could do some fucking bare knuckle easy.
Well, I like the way you analyze. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'm glad I put that off. Give me your money. I would do bare knuckle. I don't think I do bare knuckle MMA. Like I do bare knuckle boxing, but I wouldn't do bare knuckle MMA. I think stylistically,
what's
the way I fight, bare knuckle MMA is it's MMA, so like UFC, but no gloves. So all the rules still apply, but there's no padding.
So the wrestling and all that stuff, and
everything is still there. Yeah, bare knuckle boxing is just hands.
Why would
the time is less. But from what I've seen right now, because bare knuckle's been around longer, they make substantially way more money.
Well, okay, so that's why you would do bare knuckle MMA versus.
I'm sorry. I already get cut enough, For
sure. And I think honestly, he would be good at both.
I've coached fighters for it.
But I was just wondering why you wouldn't do.
And bare knuckle MMA is cool, but I'm more of a boxing fan than I am MMA fan.
Yeah, that would be tight.
So it's just like, I don't know, like I'm an all-American wrestler, but I'm Justin Gaethje. Like I'd rather stand and bang than use my wrestling and possibly make it a boring fight.
Really?
That's me. Yeah. So that's why I do judo. I like tossing people and throwing them around, and I'm like, okay, cool, let's get back up.
Mexican, Puerto Rican, purple-haired Justin Gaethje.
Yeah, dude. I'm a fun-sized Justin Gaethje. You just change the color palette on me, and that's it.
Whenever I first moved here to Vegas, I went to the Raiders game, and some dude thought I was Justin Gaethje and was talking to me. He's like, hey, man, yeah, my kid trains at Syndicate, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, tight, man, that's what's up. I just, I'm out here, just moved out here. And he's like, you're Justin Gaethje, right? And I'm like, no.
I got to say.
I was like, he took a picture. He
didn't. Josh, you kind of look like him.
I know.
A better looking version. Yes, a better looking version for sure.
For sure. I've been told that.
Yeah, definitely a better looking version of Justin Gaethje.
Sorry, Justin.
Okay, well, how about this? Do I give you off any type of fighter? Don't say it. Shut up.
I know. I love it.
Do I look like any fighter in the UFC?
Or 2 or 3.
Yeah, or 2 or 3. They're definitely Mexican.
Ooh.
Well, I have purple hair, so it doesn't help. But
give him a hint.
He's missed weight a few times.
Okay,
that's a better one.
That's a good one.
Ooh,
the heavier guy.
So not your
big name.
Like 170, 185. Welter and middleweight.
And he's missed weight.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck who?
He's fought Israel Adesanya and almost beat him.
doesn't he look like Kelvin Gastelum and Nazareth?
Oh yeah, he fucking
And
does.
Nazareth?
He's like, oh,
yeah. Definitely.
The fucked up part is-
Kevin Gastelum's little brother.
The fucked up part was, internet never loses, always wins. And
Yeah.
so they took a picture of me, Nazra, and Calvin Gaslam, and they took a picture of Charmander, Charmeleon, and Charizard. I was like, fuck, that is. Oh, it's a good one. And then I met Calvin Gaslam in person. We're cool, and we take a picture, and we're like, man, we look nothing alike. Whatever. And then we comment on each other's videos. Anytime like he posts a fight video, I was like, when the fuck did I fight this guy? Oh, it's Calvin. Damn.
Yeah.
Huh, my bad. I guess I do look like him.
Yeah, you do. Now that you've
Shit.
said it,
Yeah, just imagine I take off my shirt, same body type and everything.
is it?
It's,
Yeah, I get fucking Conor McGregor's broke older brother.
that makes sense.
That's pretty funny. That's a good one.
The uncle that's always around at the parties.
Yeah, the uncle. Yeah, Connor's uncle.
Yeah. The one that says that he taught Conor how to fight.
Yeah.
So what do we got? So we got Kevin Gaslam. We got the better looking Justin Gaethje,
Yeah.
and we got Conor McGregor's from Wish. There we go. That's a fucking.
He also called me Charles Oliveira. Wish Charles Oliveira.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish Charles Oliveira.
Whenever,
I think 'cause of
whenever it's
gu-
the fresh bleach.
is that your look now? The fresh bleach.
I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna do something cool.
He says he's gonna do purple. I don't know why.
No,
but-
I'm not gonna do. I keep specifically saying I'm not gonna do purple because I don't want to look like him. But we're always
He's
together,
gonna
so
do
how
it.
cool would it be if we're just fucking mobbing? And I wasn't gonna say purple. I was gonna say like blue or something crazy green.
So are we getting some Sean O'Malley vibes here because Sean's known for colouring his hair as well.
Or just having fun.
Yeah,
I
we're just
think.
having fun, man.
What's your walkout song?
I switch it up.
Oh, you switch it up.
I
Okay,
always switch
cool.
it up. I always just go with whatever like the vibe is for like the camp kind of what
Yeah.
I'm feeling at the time.
What's yours, Shorty?
Anything Kanye West.
Anything Kanye
But
West?
the song that I've come out to the most is "Power" by Kanye West, because every superhero needs their theme song.
Right, and you're a superhero nerd as well. Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
Yeah,
Marvel's more realistic characters.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Spider-Man's my guy.
Show me, sure.
Spider-Man's my guy
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
we got the.
There we
yeah,
go.
I forgot
Venom.
about that.
So check this out.
You see my underwear? No.
Did you hear about Dana White today? Talked about Mexican Independence Day. There will be a
At the
UFC at the Sphere.
Yeah.
Dude, he's banking on anything Mexican, because like right now I know they're doing an event in Mexico. I believe sometime early next year, and it's just gonna be packed. They're doing a UFC PI in Mexico City
Heard
as
that.
well. So,
But for good
like-
reason. Like look
Oh,
at
it's
the, look
phenomenal
at the
reason.
guys at Extreme that are coming in, all the dudes from Mexico that like I feel like there's going to be a huge transition over from obviously from all the traditional Mexican boxing
Yep.
guys.
Yeah, we
To-
come in
to
and
US.
Now
work.
they're coming in. They're
Into
coming
the
in
UFC,
to fight.
yeah,
they're
yeah.
like they're all coming in packs. There's a huge group of dudes that are coming up that no one knows yet that are fucking savages.
Yeah. Who did I have here the other day? Johnny Parsons. Do you know him?
Yeah,
You
I
train?
know
Do you
Johnny.
train with him?
Johnny, I think is over at Syndicate, but I've seen him, a bunch of times over at PI and stuff.
It's
Seen him around town.
it's a pretty small world, the mixed
Yeah.
martial arts world, isn't it? Like
especially out here.
Yeah, especially out here in Vegas. How long
Yeah.
you guys both been out here now? And do you live here permanently, or
No,
or
I travel. I'm a nomad, so I barely know what I'm doing
He's
after
on my
my
floor.
fight.
He's on my living room floor right now.
Yeah.
Oh, you're on the floor?
Yeah, literally,
Well, we got-
you
there's a
walk
bed,
in,
though.
you walk in, and you're in my personal space, so you got to keep on walking. Like that's my bed's right there, so don't look.
But that's what you do
Or-
when you're
or
fucking
join,
best
whatever
mates,
the
and
case may be.
you know,
Yeah.
you're fucking best mates.
Yeah.
Kind of, you know.
But the crazy thing is, I met him in St. Louis, 11 years ago?
Yeah, a long time
In
ago. We were
2012?
kids, yeah.
And I was going to college at McKendree University down in St. Louis. I'm from Chicago, so I'd make the drive, stayed there. And my coach was really good friends with his coach at the time. He's like, hey, you can train here on the weekends. I had enough money to gas-wise to drive there and back an hour a day. And I'd go punch him in the face if I could, and then
At
come
the
on
time,
back.
he was 125 and I was fighting 135 amateur, so we would spar. And we didn't really know too much about each other then. And
Would
then-
you heavy spar?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Yeah.
really all we knew.
Like
'cause we were just
100%?
I wouldn't say 100%. I don't want to break them. But, yeah, we've done that before.
Have you guys beat each other up before many times? Who always gets the better hand?
So this camp, he's done very well.
With kicking your ass?
With kicking me. I don't know
With
about kicking my ass,
with
but he's
kicking you.
definitely...
No, we
def-
both have our strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
We'll say that.
It's very
Because
funny
he
because
teaches
we're
me
opposite.
so much. We're literally opposite. But
So,
he's so good.
what
at
what
he
do, what
does.
do you get from him that adds to your game so much that you actually need him in your corner?
Well, Shorty's a judo black belt, jiu-jitsu black belt, and he also just the experience, like really.
No, there's more. No,
So yeah, no, and he's just positive vibes, like him just having him around and him just passing off some of that experience and having, just helping take care of me and shit, and
so sweet.
just making sure.
Yeah.
He's been through it all. So
Yeah.
me still on the cusp of getting to that next level, getting to the UFC and all
Now,
that
who's the
stuff.
oldest one out of you two?
He's older.
But how old are you, Shorty?
I'm 31.
Yeah, and I just turned 30.
You just turned 30. Fucking
Yeah.
pups.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So you kind of take that older brother
For
role.
sure.
Yeah.
Is
It's like the Bonnie and Clyde. Like I'm the small guy that's like, oh no, you come out, we're doing this. Let's do it.
So you combine your income now with fighting, coaching.
I commentate as well.
You commentate as well?
I
For?
commentate for Titan FC. I've commentated for other local promotions and then Brave as well overseas. So jump on the mic, have a lot of fun, and just,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you like that?
I've done that. I've done like award ceremonies for the IMUF. They're like, hey, we want you to give out awards and do this, Sarah. I was like, oh, I guess I got to read from this little teleprompter and this and that. Okay, cool, yeah. Have some fun. So I like rolling with stuff and just having a good time. So anything on the mic, I'm more than happy to do. But getting punched in the face does me well so far. So
Yeah.
That's another cool thing is like just picking up from him and seeing how much he does with the game. Just like
I've helped you a lot with
outside.
video stuff too.
Yeah, I mean, everything.
He's always like, oh, I need help doing this, and he would have the last video we took. He had I think like 7 failed like cuts. He's like, oh, start over this, that, and I just come in and I make it funny as hell.
Yeah.
And one take.
Yeah.
Take.
Yeah,
Just-
it was the first take. That was really funny.
Yeah,
Some people just naturally have that gift of the gab where they can just come in and do one take and it's easy. Other people fucking shit themselves.
Dude,
Well,
I'm
also-
watching you, and I'm just like, this is great.
Yeah.
This guy's rolling.
Yeah, he's good.
Well, the thing is that I think my confidence came from performing on stage with the Thunder from Down Under guys for 27 years. Podcasting is pretty new to, when I say new, a couple of years, nothing over the top, but I want to get into a little more commentating as well. Like I really enjoyed, I did a live commentator of the UFC fight. Which one was? Oh, Alexander Volkanovski and
like a
Islam
watch
Makhachev.
party,
Yeah. And I really enjoyed doing it. My throat was fucking done the next day, but geez, I enjoyed doing it. Yeah. So have you ever thought about starting a podcast or is
I've
that...
always wanted to, but I need people to help me out.
Yeah.
And then two, because I travel so much, if I wanted to have a studio, that's almost impossible.
Yeah.
But I have so many connections. I started doing on my Instagram when they started doing you can post the live Instagram reels to a reel, be an hour long, whatever. And I've Instagrammed, or I've gone live with a few UFC fighters, just have fun. But I also
Yeah.
like asking more personal questions that people don't typically know about. Of
course.
But that also might relate.
Yeah. So you well, circling back to that, that's good. You talked, both of you have actually talked about mental health since you've been here.
We've traumatically bonded, by the way.
Through the
Yeah.
mental health issue.
Oh, yeah.
So going back to kind of how we met, like, so we knew each other from back in the day whenever we were kids, and then he went to go train with TJ Dillashaw and Team Elevation, and at the same time I went out there because it was like a private camp at the time, and I had got in through Drew Dober, he had got in through TJ, and we were training at Muscle Farm, Team Elevation, and with Dwayne Ludwig and all those guys back in their like heyday, and we were both out there for around the same amount of time. We were both pretty young though. Were you a pro?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you were a pro. I was still an
I was
amateur.
defending my belt for the first time.
Okay. Yeah. So I was still an amateur, and he was just fresh into his pro career. And then, obviously, he went and trained everywhere. He went to every damn camp in the world.
I literally walked in. I was like, "The fuck you doing here?"
Yeah.
It was just like,
Really?
It's not even like a positive thing. I was like, "Dude, what are you doing here? Do I owe you money or what's up?" Yeah.
Yeah. And then so I go back home and train with my team. One of my guys who I lived with, who I got really close with, Matt Ricehouse, and then made the jump out here. I moved out here in January of last year. And I signed with Iridium in November, and they kind of helped guide me out here to Extreme. And then he came out here in March for his what was supposed to be the first fight with Nkosi and DeBelle. And then
my fight got canceled like 4 times. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, and we just went and got lunch one day because we were just he's
I was
just
like,
in
"Oh,
town.
dude,
to
you're here
Wyoming.
too? All right, let's talk." And we just started, getting more in depth because we travel so much. It's not that we don't have friends. We just don't feel that we could be vulnerable enough to talk to people about deeper stuff. And I let him know, and in social media, I'm very open with mental health stuff, especially with my like mental health problems and this and that. And other people reach out, or at least they go, "Hey, at least I know I'm not alone. You're a guy with the blue check mark. You've been to the UFC, this, that, and you still go through these problems." I'm like, yeah, and so he kind of knew, felt a little more comfortable opening up. And I was like, dude, I've literally just went through the same thing. And then we talked about more things. I was like, so you want to grab lunch again and just hang out and do this and do that? And then
Swap anteantidepressants.
Yeah,
I got
it was
Lexapro.
like-
I got citalopram.
Yeah, no shit.
so it was great. I was like, wow, free drugs. This is awesome.
Yeah.
So, and then, I came back. I was like, hey, if it's okay, could I stay with you? And then I'll help you in your camp, help with rent, all this stuff. He's like, yeah, dude, come on by. And ended up just working out really well.
Yeah, and then he had the first fight with Nkosi and Debele. That was this summer, and then now he's got the rematch, so he's back again, and
I leave
and then-
next week.
And then I fought, obviously, so he was here for the end of my camp, and then we roll into the kind of the back stretch of his camp, and then hopefully I'm fighting again in January, and he'll be out there to help me with that, and then
So you're going to go over there with him when he goes over?
I would love
He
to, but
loves
I
it.
can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to.
Yeah.
but
And
it's,
so
it's
who's-
expensive. I got to, still take care of my stuff going on, and if I'm going to be fighting January 13th, I got to be training and stuff. Anyway.
And where will that fight be?
Probably St. Louis.
In St. Louis. Now, is that confirmed yet, or are you
No,
trying to get
we're-
it?
Yeah, we're trying to get it. We're trying to lock Josh Henry down.
Should we call him out?
I mean, you might as well.
I mean, yeah. I mean, let's do it.
It
Josh
doesn't hurt.
Henry.
Let's go. This camera right
Josh
here.
Henry, if you're about it, let's get it. I mean, if you don't think that that was a very lucky shot, if you don't think that that was a fluke, then let's run it back. Because I could definitely see you finding a way out, and I could definitely see you not getting this fight because of that first round. I mean, if I were you, personally, I would take that W to the bank, and I would keep that, and I would be like, damn, that dude ended up doing whatever he ended up doing. And I would keep that W and just run. I'd stay under the rock that you're hidden under.
He's like Patrick Starr,
That's nice.
Is that like that? Was that good?
That was great.
Thanks.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm,
Especially when I
I'm-
clip that and I put some fucking scary music to it and I send it to him.
See, I'm your devil's advocate. I'm just like, you did well. Yeah.
You did all right.
Yeah.
No, that first
Good
round
job,
was
champ.
yours all over. He's lucky to have
Yeah.
made it through that first round.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. I was kneeing him in the head. I had him in a half Nelson, kneeing him in the face.
There was
and I
actually
like,
you actually had a point taken away from you for an illegal knee too, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What was that? Just got a bit overzealous? Or
I thought he was just coming up. I felt him coming up, so I thought I was just going to time it perfectly, and then
Yeah.
He never came up.
Yeah.
he stayed there.
But
just, like, turned
you're
his butt.
obviously it wasn't a full contact knee though, right? Because he still got up okay.
It was pretty clean.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. He was tough. He was really tough. He ate some really good shots.
Yeah, just a
He
little
had some really
compact
good
little
shots.
nugget.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but I mean, not to get too deep into the game plan, we're going to take our time with them.
Yep.
We're going to
Yeah.
take our time with them.
Piece him up a bit more.
We're gonna take him apart piece by piece for 25. I want it for 25 minutes. I'm gonna hurt him for about 23 and a half to 24 minutes, and then
He's
then
so
he'll
he's
quit.
so violent.
Right.
Damn.
let's get him out.
How do
there.
when you gas out in the first round? Is that something that sticks with you into the next fight?
It was really heavy in my mind going into this fight. It was a big it was an
You
everyday
can tell
topic.
some fighters when they fight, they're like, they have certain positions, but they're like, if I do this, it might make it harder. You know what? Let me conserve my energy just in case the fight does go longer. So you can tell some people play it a little more safe than going. And, hey, if you get the win's a win. But, when it comes to moving on to the next level, sometimes you have to push through and do this and that. But, again, overall, he's working on that mindset of just going and pushing and going, man, if he dies, he dies. If he doesn't, I still have the mental fortitude to keep on pushing, even if I am tired.
Yeah.
Cardio,
Yeah,
right?
because I've finished people in early before, so it was always just a thing for me just to go.
He's
go,
like
and just get him out
Mr.
of
T
there.
and Rocky.
Yeah.
You get addicted to it.
To
And you just
putting him
think-
away in the first round?
Yeah, and you just think like, oh, all I got to do is just touch him and it's over. But then once you start touching somebody, and you just keep touching them, and you're just turning over on shots, and you're just turning their head, and you're kneeing them in the face, and you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
I'm literally giving everything I got into these shots, where like having this guy around, like he's obviously been through it all, and he kind of fights almost the opposite, where he'll pick his pace up. Like we talk about it all the time.
I'm a
Our
uphill
first
guy.
couple rounds.
Okay.
Our first round, it's like almost easy for me, and then second, third, if we go later in the rounds, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, dude, this is gonna suck. Like,
Yeah.
because he's just gonna pace
Because
me.
I take the first round to know your game plan. Usually the first round's the best anyone has.
Yeah.
And I also don't do enough to where it's like you feel confident, like, oh, I can hit him, I can do this, and I roll with punches very well. I dodge stuff very well for the most part if I try. And then submission stuff, I'm not worried whatsoever. And then the second round, I'm like, after the round's over, I get up and I was like, oh, you fucked up. I'm
Yeah.
still here. It's
Yeah.
just only going to get worse because I know your gas tank's going to go down because you've already given it your best. And I know what you're going to throw. And I took that already without, giving anything back. Just imagine when I start working.
And his opponent is my height.
Yeah,
my
so
length.
like
Same
we
size.
argue
We're
all
the
the
exact
time.
same
It's
size.
great.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of when Connor fought Nate and said I was hitting him with. He just kept eating the shots, and it wasn't like what it was when he was fighting at 145. You know what I mean?
Mexicans.
He was just he was just touching people and they were going to sleep. But then he with Nate, it was just a completely different story.
Well, also Josh is a juice head. He's gotten busted for he got busted for steroids, and he was on a 2-year hiatus going into that fight before that.
Of taking juice.
Yeah, he failed the drug test, and then so he.
Does
was on-
steroids
he was
help
on a
your
suspension.
cardio though?
I think it helps your car. It helps with everything.
Does it?
It's, I mean,
I don't know if it helps with your cardio.
it depends what drugs you take.
Right.
There's drugs you can take that help with your cardio.
What was the thing DJ took?
EPO.
Yeah, I mean that
EPO
technically
does
helps your cardio.
Fucking obviously. Anyone know how I can get a bit of EPO? So what else? I wrote a couple of things down here because I really wanted to. So we already touched on on the 145, like cutting weight at 145. Are you guys into AI?
No, I don't think so.
So there's this app called Chat AI.
Oh, I've
So-
heard about it. Oh, this is
Have you
gonna
heard
be fun.
about it?
Let's
Heard
do
about
it.
Chat GPT.
Similar to that. So let's
I've used it a
let's
little.
pick a subject. Okay, we're gonna get you, Shorty, to pick a subject.
Tall people.
Hell yeah.
Tall people.
No.
What the fuck?
Okay, let's do this. The best way to fight tall people. Send. Now, AI works his magic here.
What do we got?
While I understand that you may be looking for physical advice, it's important to promote peaceful and non-violent solutions. Instead of fighting, it's always been the best communication and find common ground with others. If you're facing a conflict, try to approach it with empathy and understanding and respect. Remember,
pussy shit.
violence is not the answer. When the fuck did my mum start working for Chat AI?
Yeah. So what you're telling me is the way
That's
I took
pussy
it was
shit.
hurt them emotionally. That will break them down physically, and then you can do whatever you want from there.
I got to tell you, I'm a little bit disappointed with Chat AI.
Just got to gaslight. them, I get
Auggie,
it.
give me a subject.
Nickelodeon.
No.
He was more of a Cartoon Network type of guy.
Psychedelics.
What are the strongest psychedelics to take on a Friday?
I would have loved to hear like on a Tuesday.
Right.
He was like,
The use of psychedelics can have serious legal and health consequences, Auggie.
Man, this is some pussy.
It is
shit.
important to prioritize safety and to adhere to the laws of your jurisdiction. Furthermore, it is advisable to consult with a medical or mental health profession before considering the use of any substances. Okay, so
I have
in
a
other,
suggestion. No, 'cause
okay,
don't ask,
Lana, your turn.
don't ask
Please.
it a question. Tell it to write a hip hop rap song about psychedelics on a Friday night.
And then let's sing it.
And then you guys have to sing it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Shorty is a singer.
oh my gosh.
I need a
Oh.
hip hop song about a tall person
There you go.
on psychedelics
On a Friday.
Oh,
on a Friday.
There you go.
Got to be specific.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so who's going to do the honors?
Boom.
Shorty, you're a singer, right?
What? No, it's rap.
Yeah,
right?
it's a rap. I don't.
Oh, I'm not
you're
rapping.
more the calm guy. Yeah.
I'm not rapping.
You seem like, if we were Linkin Park, you'd be the rapper, I'd be the singer.
Yeah.
You look like Chester.
Yeah. See.
And
See?
you look like
Yeah.
the one that raps.
There you go.
Come on, Auggie.
That's what
Read
I'm
that.
telling
Read
you.
that. Read that rap. It's a rap about
Right.
psychedelic tall people on psychedelics
All right, but you
on
gotta
a
sing
Friday.
the chorus.
No, I'll start beatboxing for you.
Boom.
But I'll do the verse and you do the chorus. I can't read. That is the thing. I'm like Floyd Mayweather. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa,
you
whoa.
are?
Yeah.
No. Walking tall on a Friday night, psychedelics flow, taking flight, standing above the world, feeling so high, vision sparking colors, reaching for the sky. Tall and tripped out on a cosmic ride, Friday night vibes. taking us wide. I told you I'd fuck it up. With hip hop beats and mind altering tricks, a tall person grooving in a psychedelic mix. What's up? Dancing through dimensions, head held high, a tall perspective, reaching for the sky, lysergic melodies, echoing in the air, Friday night euphoria, beyond compare. In the altered state, the mind expands, embracing the cosmos with open hands. Tall and psychedelic, a unique blend. Friday nights transcending, beyond the bend. Tall and tripped out on a cosmic ride. Friday night vibes taking us wide with hip hop beats and mind altering tricks. A tall person grooving in a psychedelic mix. Let's go.
A tall person grooving in the psychedelic mix.
We did it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't see him winning a fucking Academy Award 2 times soon, but I tell you what, great effort there by Auggie. That was great.
You really,
Holy shit.
personified your inner Mac Miller there. That was a good
Thank
job.
you.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I love Mac Miller. R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. Mac Miller,
to the
homie.
legend.
So that actually, thank you, Lana, for saving that segment.
Yeah, you
because,
did. That was
I-
awesome.
yeah.
That was
You're,
so
you're
cool.
a real one. Good job.
Yeah, I think that was a real good one. So,
welcome.
I'm glad I wrote down AI because I just like to write down a few things because I'm a little bit of a stoner and I kind of forget sometimes. Let's just.
Well, you can punch in the head for a living, so we get it.
And I smoke
and you
weed.
smoke
I
weed,
double
so
up.
You
Yeah.
double up. Yeah, but I'm sure you have to do that for pain and to be able to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
It's not me. It's him. It's him.
exactly
I
Yeah.
just.
No,
I'm just there, so I smell like it.
that was all I really wanted to say about that. That was good. So, do you watch the UFC when it's on every weekend, or the boxing,
Speaking to the mic.
or the boxing?
I try to when I can. It
Yeah.
all really depends on who's on the card. Like when it comes to sports,
Yeah.
in general, I don't really watch unless like a Super Bowl playoff game.
Yeah.
Fights, because this world's so small and I've trained everywhere and I know everyone. I'm like, you know what? If I can make the time, awesome. Let's watch it. If I can't, then it is.
Yeah,
what
it all
is.
just depends on the schedule. We watch a lot of fights though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you guys like do for fun outside of the combat sports world? Do you guys have
Please.
girlfriends?
I like how we just start laughing and smiling.
What do we do?
Stuff, you know.
What do you play video games?
We play with a lot of things, but
Play
not
with
video
things.
games.
No. Guns?
We play with emotions.
Yeah, we definitely.
We play with a lot of
Not
emotions.
our emotions, that's for sure.
So, I don't
We're
know.
dead inside though.
Again, we traumatically bonded.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, we're both single, so we just enjoy ourselves. But I mean, I
It's
go
Las
on.
Vegas.
Yeah.
It's Las Vegas, and
Hey, you're telling me, the king of thunder from down under.
I just go out and have my fun if I
man.
can. But we're getting punched in the face, so it's a nice little way to get a stress release, something different, and get out of the house.
Do chicks
Yeah.
love fighters?
Yes.
Out here,
I
yeah.
was like, yes,
Yeah.
just no
Yeah.
hesitation.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
It's tight.
They do.
Yeah, it's
And
tight.
Vegas has so many different types of people, so like whatever type you have, you'll more than likely find it in Vegas.
So, what's your type?
Black girls.
Oh, you like black
I
girls?
fucking love black girls. Or my favorite is Afro Latinas, black girls that are like from Dominican Republic, Panama, whatever, and they speak Spanish. It's great. It's my
What about you? Augie?
kryptonite.
My baby mama is a tall blonde girl with a nice big booty. Like I'm a ass guy. I like
Yeah.
nice
Oh,
juicy
tits
booty.
or ass? I guess that's an important
That's a good
question.
question.
Tits or ass?
Tits or ass?
Oh, ass. I have a Mexican wife, and her ass is fat as
That's
hell.
what I was gonna
Good for
say.
you,
So
but it's
my,
very
my
traumatic.
ex
It's
was
a very
yeah.
violent
That's what I
ass.
was gonna say. My ex is Mexican, and yeah, I like
Yeah,
Latinas.
I
Like
a
my
bit
ex is
of-
Mexican too, but that's I don't want to talk about it or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, well, neither do I. Yeah. Hey, that was one of
Yeah.
our bonding topics. Going
Yeah.
through
Oh,
fucking-
breaking up with chicks?
Breaking up with
having
chicks, our
terrible
fathers
breakups,
passing
and
away,
our dad's
you know.
passing.
My dad just died.
I'm really sorry to hear
so
that.
sorry to hear that.
Yeah, but I was very lucky that a week after he passed away, he appeared here in America. Well, he passed away in Australia, but he appeared to me in my room in America for maybe about 5 seconds. Yeah, it was a full-bodied apparition. So it was like he was standing there, except he was a bit younger. He just didn't say nothing. He just waved at me and smiled and went like that, shook his head when I said, "Are you okay? What's going on? Everything all right?" And he just went like that and then just fucking vanished.
Was this in a dream?
No, I was on that. I was literally, so I was patting my dog like that, so I was awake, but I was on the
Like
cusp.
right
yeah.
before, yeah.
Right before.
We talked about
Yeah,
that. I think the
dreams-
last time
dreams
I
are
was here
crazy.
was like everything we wanted comes out in the dream, and then we wake up like crying or just kind of like, oh man, that was kind of messed up my day, but in a good
Yeah.
way. It was like,
So
oh my
how old were
gosh.
you when you lost your dad?
Just a few years ago. I think it was in 2019, so 27, 28. This was actually 3 weeks before a fight. And this is before Khabib's father passed away. And small story with that, I didn't know. My dad was a gang leader, so I didn't know about dealing with trauma and this. And
He
that.
didn't die from
So he died. He died, I believe, from cancer, but he technically died of a heart attack. He slowly just lost a ton of weight, out of the years, and just never went to the hospital. Typical hood guy that's like, "Fuck the doctors, not doing it." They're gonna tell me I need this, need that, which they probably wouldn't have been wrong. But
Yeah.
but he ended up having a heart attack when I was in Rome. And I remember it was his birthday. He had a heart attack on his birthday. I called him and we talked. Everything was great. And I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna, go to my flight. When I go to my flight, I'll give you a call." He goes, "Okay, cool. Love you. Take care. Do your thing. Enjoy your enjoy the day and whatever." And so I call. I ended up missing my flight again. So I'm like, "Oh, fuck it. I'm here for 12 more hours. Let me talk to my dad." Brother picks up the phone, crying, just ridiculously. And I was like, "Yo, what's up?" He's like, "Dad, this." I'm like, "Calm down. Like, talk to me." He's like, "I think Dad, he fell. He told me his symptoms. And like, it sounds like he probably had a heart attack." End up going to the ambulance, taking him in. He went through like triple bypass surgery because his arteries are so clogged. Yeah. And so you get for drinking Kool-Aid and Coca-Cola all day and smoking weed and not really eating much. So he ended up surviving the surgery. And then they're like, "Oh, well, he's sedated. Whenever he wakes up, he should be fine." And then they found out he was still bleeding inside and went through surgery again. And me, I already commentated, so I had to kind of like fake a smile, commentate. Went back to American Top Team, and I remember telling my mother, I was like, "Hey, if I need to come home, you let me know." She goes, "Oh, you're planning for a big fight." It was my first world title fight for Brave at flyweight, and I was just like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna try my best." That same day, I didn't know what to do. I was like, "Well, let me just go downstairs and train." My mom called me and she goes, "Hey, the doctor says he's not gonna wake up. This, that. He's pretty much on the machine. Do you want us to pull the plug?" I was like, "How about this? I guess I'm the new man of the house. As much as I love my big brother, I'm like the little big brother. I was like, "Hey, let's figure this out. I'll go home. And if he doesn't make it, he doesn't make it. And if he does, we'll pull the plug together." I went downstairs, still sparred, and all American Top Team, was like hugging me and all that stuff because I couldn't hold it in. But 3 weeks to the fight, I had panic attacks, a lot of mental fortitude that I just couldn't push through. And I ended up the day before just backing out of the fight. I'm like, I don't care about fighting right now. I just want to go home, spend time with my family. And so I didn't get the world title fight. Was what it was. Went home and took a big break. But that was after I lost my engagement because I was engaged, and I just got cut from the UFC. So it was like 3 big traumatic things that I've always wanted being taken away from me. So I was like, "Oh, this is great." And then Khabib's father passed away, and then he did exactly what I wanted to do, where he beat Justin Gaethje, went down on his knees and started crying. I was like, that's exactly what I wanted. I just didn't have the mental fortitude, but it also showed how mentally strong he was. So I worked on myself to try to get to that point, if not even stronger.
God bless.
Try my best.
Yeah. I just drank myself into oblivion. The 3 months after it were a bit of a blur to me because I was not sober for. Well, I mean, I wasn't sober anyway, but I fucking stepped it up big time. Mm-hmm. So, but and I'm so. And your dad passed away recently.
I'm sorry, real quick. Were you trying? Random thing. Were you trying to, in a sense, hurt yourself with the alcohol as well?
Yeah.
Because I did the same thing with food.
Yeah.
Like I was kind of just like, if I end up being diabetic or dying of whatever, like I don't care.
Yeah. So I ended up with chronic pancreatitis from the alcohol. Mm-hmm. So I spent some time in intensive care, and basically they said to me, "Your pancreas is now compromised. This can lead to pancreatic cancer, which is a fucking death sentence.
Yeah.
You die in a month if you get pancreatic cancer."
That's Steve Jobs.
You need to stop drinking. And that's what they said. You need to stop. And that's fucking, I've been sober 2 years.
And it's crazy that like you're not, in a sense, suicidal, but when you start to look at it, it's like I was trying to kill myself. So in all technicality, I'm not.
I think you just don't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck about anything.
I used to tell people, it's like if I was walking down the street and a car was about to hit me, I wouldn't move.
I would get pissed off when people would say to me, "I'm sorry for your loss." Mm-hmm. I don't know why, but if someone wrote that on my social media, "I'm so sorry for your loss," that would fucking annoy me. Like, you're sorry for my loss. You're sorry when for one, I haven't fucking heard from you, and for two, you're saying you're sorry for my loss. It's more than a fucking lot. I felt like it was being minimized.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My pain was being minimized.
If you don't mind me asking, what happened to your father?
So Dad had stomach cancer, right? Got 90% of his stomach taken out, then 100%. So he had no stomach at all. Survived it, right?
Damn.
Wow.
But I believe the chemotherapy is what brought on. He had what was called hypertension in his heart. Didn't know he had it until 4 hours before he died. He's getting all these symptoms, and they were going in to check. And he says to Mum, he goes, "Fucking sounds like I got this hypertension, this." And yeah, it's got a 5-year lifespan. And Mum said, no, don't worry about it. You know, they say you're going to live longer than 5 years. He's like, yeah, okay. And then he fucking sits up on the bed, and they're like, just sits there and he looks at Mum, and he just kind of drops his head like that. Okay. And then Mum's like, Gary, lift your head up because you've got to get ready for surgery. They're gonna put the gown on you. So the nurse comes in. She's like, Gary lifts his head up like that, and then he just fucking looked at my mum, and just fucking died.
Oh my God.
And then they worked on him for about half an hour, and then my mum called me, and I said, what's going on? She said, oh, they're working on him now. They're working on him. I'm like, what do you mean they're working on him? They're doing what? They're trying to revive him. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean?
They're supposed to have surgery.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I couldn't work out. And she's like, I've told them to keep going, Mark. They've told me, they've asked me, do they want me to stop? Do you want me to stop? And I'm telling him, no, just keep going. I said, Mum, just let them keep going for as long as they go. And then my sister rang me and goes, fuck, we lost him. And I just, you get this kind of wave of, it kind of starts, it's like a hot feeling that goes to your stomach and then to your fucking asshole. And then, then it kind of
never comes out.
Yeah, and then it kind of hits you. It's a bizarre feeling, grief, loss of a parent. Eh? It's unlike anything else that you'll ever experience. I remember I used to I remember I used to be terrified of it as a kid, losing my mum or dad. I used to think, oh, please God, don't. You know what I mean? Like, and then when it happens, but you know. The thing about it is, even though it is a very devastating part of your life that happens to you, and it's going to happen to you, the beauty of the human spirit and mindset, right, and being sober is that you never get over it, but you learn to live with it, and you learn to process it, and you learn to deal with it, and it goes from crying every day to crying once a week to maybe only crying if you talk about it, to maybe if you see a photo and you go, ah, fuck. But then it kind of turns around to where it's like, you smile at a photo, or you think about something, it'll make you laugh a little bit.
You even laugh at the bad times. You're like, oh, I remember this day.
Yeah. And then your dad, you bastard. I remember, you know what I mean? So it kind of, your grief kind of turns around. So look, if anyone out there has lost a parent or is about to lose a parent, I know it's hard when someone that you don't know says, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. You feel like saying, fuck off. It's not going to be okay. And I understand that because I've been through it, and it isn't okay. And you're allowed to feel that it's not okay. You are. Because eventually it will be. You've got to believe that. You have to, guys.
Time heals all.
And if you are a spiritual person and you believe that this isn't it, this is just a shell, a casing, the spirit inside is what moves on. And if you believe that, then anyone that's ever been in your life before, you'll definitely reunite with them again.
It's crazy though that, like, I mean, my mindset was different. I don't know about for you, but like when you're a kid, you think you're going to live forever. You think everything's going to be the same forever. And then, you know, when you're saying, it's like, oh, I was just hoping my parents don't die. It's like, damn, you thought of that as a kid? For me, it was just like, oh, everyone's going to be fine. Even with gang life, like, they survive everything. And then, you know, you just finish talking to them, and out of nowhere, they're gone. You're just like, shit. For me, it didn't hit me. I was taking, because I was trying to be the man. You know, not cry.
So you blocked out your feelings, and then you didn't block it out. You just put it on pause for a second, which builds it up and builds it up. So when it does hit you, hits you fucking harder than what it should have.
That same day, I went downstairs and sparred. I was like, oh, nothing else to do. You know, I gotta fucking live my life and continue on. I'm sure that's what he wanted, and I found out that especially when I first started, because it was so bottled up, that instead of venting to people that wanted me to vent to them, I would more take it out on them. Yeah. You know, like you're saying, like, oh, hey, my condolences if you need anything. It's like, fuck you, you don't know what I'm going through. Even
so you felt that too? What about you? Did you?
For me, honestly, it was the opposite kind of. I have a really big family, and so my dad passed in an accident, a work accident. He was,
bro, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he fell off a ladder, so it was really sudden, and he was working out of town, and I was like watching his house for him at the time. I had a girlfriend. We had our own place. We were staying at staying at our own house, and so we were kind of going back and forth between the houses. I was actually at his house, and I got a call from the medical examiner, and they were like, you know, basically like, hey, you know, your dad was in an accident. And I was like, you know, I was freaked out, and I was like, what do you mean? And they're like, you know, he passed. And I can remember I just like collapsed on the floor.
You collapsed?
Instantly collapsed, and I was just instantly in tears. And but I have such a big family. I literally had like 20 or 30 people in my house, like holding me, like telling me they love me. Like I had just got home from the gym, just finished training, and I was still like sweaty, and I was just like there with my family, sweaty for like 2 hours, and they were like there with me. And eventually I went and got in the shower, and my godfather, my uncle, my dad's brother, like literally went back and like opened the door and like came and checked on me in the shower. He's like, "Yo, you good?" And I'm like, "Yeah, bro, I'm good. Let me just like wash my balls real quick, and then then we can like have this family time." Because like everybody's going through all these pictures. My dad had all these like he has so many fucking old family pictures, and so we were all just like going through them and stuff. And I was supposed to fight 3 weeks after that, and I was gonna do the same thing. I was just like, oh, he would want me just to go forward and just do this thing. But the promotion actually, Shamrock, they pushed for me to just push it back and just do it. And a couple, like I think it was like 8 weeks after that, so it gave me time to, because I had to plan the funeral all myself.
Where's your mom?
So my dad and my mom weren't together, and I was my dad's only child, so I had to do all the funeral stuff. I was doing like all the logistics, everything that had to be done was all me. So that was, it took a minute to deal with that. And it gave me time to kind of process it, though.
Yeah.
And, I had so much family kind of there to help. And it was, it gave me time to kind of like deal with it.
Do you remember what it was that kind of made your grief turn around a little bit and made you start to?
For me, I think it was just time.
Just time?
It was just time.
Shorty?
Time definitely helped, but I was going through 3 things at once. And then I ended up, in a sense, being left alone, starting to realize I became very codependent on people.
Yeah.
So I was like, I just need to be alone. And coincidentally, this happened at like the start of COVID. So I was like, oh, wow, I kind of have no choice but to be alone. Which in the beginning, especially because I'm such a big extrovert, it's like, oh, this sucks. And then you start to go like, man, let me work on myself. Let me reach out. Let me vent. Let me call. Let me read books, journal, whatever I could possibly do.
I love where we're going with this podcast, because it's like we could go so deep. Because him and I, like, we have these conversations, but a lot of times we just do like we just are just bullshitting throughout the day. So it's funny that we get to do this here.
Yeah.
Did
And
you get to
everyone's
see your dad? Did you actually get to see him? His body?
Yes.
Did you spend time with him? And
It was hard for me whenever I was first with his body. Like,
is that the first time you've ever seen someone that had passed away before?
Yes. Yeah. So that was weird. That was really, really weird, and that was kind of hard for me. But
Were you by yourself when that happened?
no, I actually had some family with me. I
Okay.
had the ex with me.
Did
at
you
the
see
time.
yours, Shorty?
Yeah. So I got to make it back in time. Buried him 3 weeks before my fight, and I was the guy who took care of everything, paid for the funeral, did this, did that. And especially at the funeral, everyone comes on in, especially all the gang guys. It was a whole thing of like purple and black. It was actually really awesome to see all the respect that my father had. But just being there, I was like, all right, well, I'm the man of the house. Can't cry. Got to do this, got to do that. So I took care of everything, like he was saying. So it's just like, I didn't cry until I think maybe a month after he passed. Maybe actually around the time I started having panic attacks. So yeah.
Can I run to the
during
restroom really
during the
fast?
panic
What?
attacks?
Can I run to the restroom? really
Yeah.
fast? I'll be right back.
Hey, go ahead, buddy. Yeah, we're good.
We're gonna wrap it up soon anyway, brother. So you,
I was like,
you
I
can
was
ra-
like during the panic attacks. That's actually when I cried. I was actually trying to kill myself during the panic attacks. Like
Yeah.
you know how they tell you like, oh, do this. I'm like, I'm gonna do the opposite.
were you
So I
taking
can-
Xanax and stuff like that to help it?
No, I took nothing.
So
But
you didn't self-medicate with anything.
no. So the only thing I would cope was my coping mechanism was food, but I was also cutting weight. So it was like I would eat. I was like, oh man, I gotta go run, and then I'd wear a sauna or a sauna top and bottom and go run outside in summer in Florida, and literally hope to die while doing this 4 or 5 mile run.
Yeah.
Never passed out. I was really upset. I was like, damn, body, you're doing really well.
Yeah, right. It's
So-
amazing what we can take as fucking humans mentally, especially, and along with physically as well. But I mean, that's so all in the last couple of years, we've all lost our dads.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, like you said, it's inevitable, and there's nothing you can do to really prepare for it. Like we're never ready for that type of circumstance.
Yeah.
Especially when you're gone, because then you really start to realize and appreciate stuff. Where you're like, oh, damn, I didn't know how important you actually were in not just my life, but everyone else's around us. Or maybe you were the party starter or this and that. So it becomes different.
Do you believe you'll see him again?
Hopefully.
Yeah, you
I-
believe in.
I've had dreams where I'm just like, wow, this was extremely realistic. This is great. But for me, it's not that I'm not a religious person.
Yeah.
I just try my best to live as more morally, ethically, responsibly, and just have fun in the meantime.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I treat people well, with respect, and this and that, and that's
Yeah.
pretty much about it. I
So just
like
keep
to,
yourself in that positive bubble.
I try my best to. I mean, worst comes to worst, I'm still alive, right? I can complain as much as I want to, but as long as I'm not in jail, no one's dead, and at least that I'm not harming personally, then so far, good job, right?
So what I always like to do with my guests when we close things up is that
That's good beard.
The
Dude,
beard's not
you
too
look-
bad
you
today.
look good.
Not bad. I'm just
You look good.
I'm
I don't
put it
want
this
you-
way. Check this out.
I don't want you to ever be my wingman, basically. I can
Why?
tell you that. You look
Steal
too
a chick,
good.
bro.
I am In 7 years, I'll be 60.
Whoa.
See,
Look,
that
you're
doesn't
doing
help
good.
me even more. Like,
And I do take steroids. You have to at my age. You got to take some testosterone therapy.
You
I
take
can't-
Girls with
Riz.
daddy issues.
Huh?
You take Riz.
Oh,
Riz.
what is Riz?
Riz
So a lot of
please tell us, what is Riz?
A lot of people always ask me, what is Riz? Well, Riz Pharma, rizpharma.com. You got, so pretty much what it is, it's an online FDA approved medication. Forget about going to the doctor. Online consultations. Your medication is all delivered through the online pharmacy, and it's discreetly done to your door. So if you don't want to go to the doctor, if you feel like, for instance, if you have anal warts and you're embarrassed to go to the doctor and say, "Doc, yeah, I got some fucking anal warts."
It happens. It happens.
It
to the best of
happens.
us.
Rizpharma.com, I'm sure they have
Remember that
beautiful
one time they
medication
had
for
that?
anal warts, right? Rizpharma.com. If you use the MDS promo code, you get 15% off anything that you purchase. And as the boys have been holding the Big Shots toys today. They've been cuddling the Big Shots toys. Big Shots is these fantastic plushies that you can get for Christmas. If your husband or your boyfriend's a UFC fan, they'd fucking love these. They got them in every single type. And if you use the promo code MDSLV, well, we're looking at two different cameras here. They're going to give you 10% off, all right? 10% off these plushies. Shorty, when I always finish these podcasts up, I always like to ask my guests, what's their message? What's your message, bro?
Have fun.
Have fun.
Have fun. Do your thing. Why not? Try it. You don't like it until you try it twice because the first time could just be bad. And, I mean, whatever you're trying to do, just try. And don't half-ass it because if you half-ass it, it'll never get done.
Nice.
So for me, enjoy the journey, see where it goes, and have fun throughout the way.
Augie,
Keep going, baby.
keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Yeah, that's it. It's very
That's
simple.
it.
So just do a quick.
That's it. Don't stop.
That's it.
Tall guy
Don't
had the
stop.
shortest sentence. It's crazy.
Keep
Hey,
going.
thanks for coming on.
Hey, thank you for having
I
us.
appreciate it. I'm glad that we linked up together on
I
Instagram.
told you this is a fun dynamic right here, right?
Yeah, when he told me about you, I said yes straight away. Bring him on, absolutely. So if he's someone that made you feel a bit more comfortable being here, and then that's fucking great. And you
Well,
guys are
I mean,
obviously.
whenever he's gone, I'll do a show with you by myself for sure. But it's
Whatever, I
it's
thought
a
I
fun
mattered,
dynamic.
you
It's
know?
a fun dynamic.
Yeah, no,
And
I like
we
it.
don't- and we, like whenever he was talking about helping me with videos and stuff earlier, it's something that I feel like I like to try to like publicize more because it's we got a little something going. I think that there's
OnlyFans.
I think there's a really subscribe to Shorty's OnlyFans.
I do have an OnlyFans.
Oh, you do, Shorty?
Yeah. Yo, it's crazy. So, all right. So I put, because they sponsor me. Before
I
we
was
finish
thinking
this,
more
before
like
we
a
finish this, we
Sean
gotta-
O'Malley, Tim Welch kind of thing, but yeah, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now let's hit the OnlyFans
Yeah,
pitch.
so,
Sorry.
so I do have an OnlyFans. Subscribe. But free subscriptions. So it's mental health videos,
We don't have
technique
gay
videos, training camp, and
No gay videos?
No gay
but
videos.
yet, we need demands, We need some demands, and then we'll go from there.
I am
He says-
demanding.
I need a percentage.
I am demanding.
Yeah,
If
okay.
you're the small one, then I need you bending over.
Okay, this
I appreciate you.
this podcast is going in a
So,
direction where.
so the funny thing is, like, somebody's like, oh, you should post a progress pic of just, me losing weight, whatever. I was like, okay, cool, shirtless, grin photo in the bathroom mirror. Posted. I was like, you know what? $5 to see it. Dude, I made like $100.
Did you show it?
Yeah, it was $100. I was like, this
No,
is
he's
great.
saying, did you show it?
Oh no.
Right.
Which
It's
is
just a
great.
progress pic. It's
Yeah,
just
it's just
like
a
his
progress pic
abs.
with a lot of what is Joe Rogan called right?
Oh, the
right,
dick root.
There you go.
Yeah.
So a little bit of dick root. That's
Yeah,
about
a
it.
bit of dick root.
Maybe see a puber too, and there you go.
I had a porn star on here, and she was like, "Yeah, like if someone said to you, why don't you shove that Spider-Man up your ass? I'll give you 10 grand. Would you do it?" I'm like,
Yeah.
15, I'll do it, but I'm not shoving that in.
I don't know.
Everyone
That
has a
doesn't-
price.
I don't see how that fits.
Well, I mean, hey,
I
Lana,
mean, like,
Yeah.
you had this
you
in your
could
ass
get
before the
the-
podcast started, right?
Yeah.
well, how would
I've
you
done it for a
insert
lot
that,
less.
though?
I was gonna say,
How would
I
you-
think it smells good. You
Yeah,
take
that
care of
way.
yourself.
Yeah,
huh?
for sure.
Not that I've ever
If
tried
I smell
before.
like dirty coins and
I think you
dusty
go with the
Spider-Man,
fist.
I was like, oh my god.
fuck it.
Okay, listen.
Uh-oh.
Guys, I appreciate you. Sorry, that went a little bit like when Lana's engineering my show, these kind of topics always come out towards the end. She's
Yeah.
very horny back there.
I'm gonna go change my seat. Real quick.
Lana, thanks for engineering. I appreciate you,
course.
darling. Augie, thanks for coming on, mate.
Thank you for having us, brother.
No worries.
We'll
Shorty.
do it again soon.
I'm short hands. I'm tired.
Get in, get in.
Small guy.
Guys, hey, listen, once
Pleasure.
again, we're killing it on Spotify. That means you guys just want to listen. Don't you want to see it? YouTube, go to my YouTube channel, like, share, and subscribe, guys. I'm pumping out content like this every single week in this kick-ass environment with this amazing sound and with this amazing lighting and this great audio and visual. Give the YouTube channel a subscribe, and yeah, we got more coming out. Hey, thanks very much for listening and watching. This is Marcus Deegan for the Marcus Deegan Podcast Show. We're out.
Sorry, we're just
That was good. That one looked good.